Good morning. It's Friday. Should I do the TGIF? I'm never certain. I'm glad that it's Friday, but I'm just in a slacker mood today. Slacker, lazy girl. I'm a lazy girl. Good morning, Eileen. Hello, Jessica. Hey, Kelly. It is a slacking kind of day. So, the good news is we have our electricity back and the air conditioner works. And so all that's good. And so I slept last night. You know, menopausal women should never sleep without a fan or air conditioning, ever, ever, never. And so the good news is last night I slept with really cold air conditioning, the ceiling fan, and my bedside table fan. All the air was flowing and it was lovely. Loverly, I tell you. Good morning, Kelly. Everybody does need a lazy day, don't they? Hey, Diane. Good morning. Hi, Kathy. Morning, Sharon. Britt, Eileen. Good to see everybody. Yes, today is lazy. The other reason today is lazy day is because I have to go get some blood work later on. And you know, Cindy doesn't leave the house. I left the house to go get my infusion at the hospital. I think I've been to the grocery store twice with one, with somebody with me. And it was like, hand sanitizer, mask, go in, 15 minutes, use the list, move. No, because normally when I go to the grocery store, I'm like peering. I'm like, ooh, what is that? We should try this. I don't know what that is. Let's buy this. Hours. I can spend hours in the grocery store, but not during pandemic. During pandemic, my following around people are like, put on your mask. There must be a mask on at all times. I got my mask on. I'm hand sanitizing. And then we get the groceries in the car. We have to hand sanitize again. We get home. We unload the groceries. Now we got to wash our hands with soap and water. Oh, my. It's a huge ordeal to go to the grocery store. So I think I've been like twice. Everybody else goes for me. That's fine. Diane, your neighbor is watching. Well, cool, Linda. Awesome. Sharon, Patty, good morning. So needless to say, me going to get blood work today is a huge outing. And normally I go to this place where you just show up, right? I have my orders, but you just show up and you do the thing in the computer and they call you back and they take your blood and there you go. We'll see how many veins they pop this go round. Now, because of pandemic, I had to like get online and make an appointment. Ugh. So anyway, that's at 1:00 this afternoon. So I have to leave the house. It's a big deal in Cindy's kitchen. So that was another reason I didn't want to do, because a lot of times I do 2 or 3 recipes, or I do a recipe and show you 6 different ways to make it. And I'm like, I just don't have the energy for that, and I can't go late today, and writing up all that stuff. See, lazy. Whiny Cindy. Good morning, Denise. Whiny Cindy. That's me. Okay. Facebook family, let me just say this. Oh, so that's why the hat. I couldn't be bothered to do anything with the hair. Just a hat. There you go. See? Lazy Cindy. Facebook family, Cindy's Kitchen followers and friends, I am sad to announce that you have failed me. Boo-hoo! You have failed me, my friends. And how have you failed me? Good morning, Linda. Hi, Camille. Yesterday, before we got off the show, I issued a challenge. I issued a challenge to each of you because today is a landmark day. A landmark day, I tell you. Today is 80 days. 80 days without my hubby. Boo-hoo. He's in the ICU today, so I can't imagine that he'd be watching. Good morning, Julie. Hi, Joan. And so my challenge to you yesterday was to take the song Around the World in 80 Days and change the lyrics somehow about Philip and I being apart or us getting back together. And I got 0. Count them 0, nil, big old goose egg responses from you. You have let me down. I'm crying. Boo-hoo. So the best I can come up with off the top of my head, because I was like, surely somebody will send me something to use. And they will be the winner. But no winner chicken dinner. And so the best I can come up with is, it's 80 days without my man, oh boo. It's 80 days without my man, oh boo. I can't wait till the end of the bug so he can come home and I can have a big hug. It's 80 days without my man. Boo-hoo. So there you go. I had to make it up on the fly because none of you sent me lyrics. So anyway, today is 80 days without the man. But you know what? He's still safe. He's still healthy. We're still safe. We're still healthy. We'll get through this. We'll get through this. Good morning, Susan. So there's my silly song for the day, right? I feel like I don't know if any of your kids ever watched Veggie Tales and they had silly songs with Larry. And I bet we had to listen to those goofy songs. My favorite was, oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where, oh, where, oh, where, oh, where, oh, where is my hairbrush? I mean, silly songs, right? And that's why they were called silly songs. Okay, today's recipe. Today's recipe is all about lazy. Slacker, lazy. I literally, and look, you Polish pottery fans are going to be very upset with me today because look at this bowl. It's a big old plastic bowl. I just needed lots of room to move. I do have a Polish pottery baker, this big old 15 by something or another that I'm baking in. You can use a 9 by 13. Just depends on how much stuff you put in your dumpy, that sounds bad, dumpy, lazy, slacker casserole, because that's what it is. So here's what I did. Hello, Brenda. I literally took 3 bags out of my freezer. I took 2 cans out of the pantry and 2 things out of the refrigerator. And then, of course, I raided the stock or the spice cabinet because their spices make all the difference in the world. I promise you. You know, people who make stuff and they go, well, it's okay. And then I can make the same thing and they go, wow, this is really good. And I use the exact same ingredients they do. The only difference is I put a bunch of spices in mine. And then it's just like, oh, taste is elevated. It's dreamy. It's wonderful. All the creamy, dreamy spaghetti is gone. So from yesterday. Hello, Vicky. Good morning. Anyway, so let us get started, shall we? We shall get started. I have a big old bowl. Big old bowl. Just because it's clear so you can see what I put in here. And it allows me to do one of these. This is my exercise today. All right, this is what we're starting with. We're starting with the stuff from the refrigerator. Well, a can and a refrigerator. There we go. All right, this has got, I'll tell you the stuff from the freezer. I got a bag of mixed vegetables, just plain old bag of mixed frozen vegetables. Whatever mix you have, whatever mix you like. Now, thaw everything. I just have left it out for an hour, but you can stick it in the microwave and on thaw. I have a big old bag of country style hash brown potatoes. See? Hash brown potatoes. Can you see that? Oops, there we go. All this is like store-bought brand because you know what? They're cheaper unless the other stuff is on sale. So, hello, Rod. Good morning, Joanne. Good to see you guys. The other thing is, I know that I say this repeatedly and you guys must be way tired of listening, but hamburger magic. Remember the episode where we did hamburger magic? Actually, I think I've done it twice now, where you take big old tube or however much hamburger meat you buy and you put it in a steamer and you let the hamburger meat steam, pound it up, right? And when it steams, all the grease falls through the holes into the water below. So it's not like when you cook it in a pan and that meat is sitting in all that fat and grease. Anyway, all the grease comes below, and so then when it's done, you take your little steamer basket, you dump it on a baking sheet, and you let it cool. Poof! You have hamburger for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's all good. Morning, Joanne. Hey, Sandy. Good morning. Sherilyn. I was worried Vicky was here, and you were not, Sherilyn. Anyway, so of course, because I do hamburger meat in bulk, I have bags of the stuff in my freezer because once it's cool, you can put it in quart-size freezer bags, always freezer, not storage, or gallon-size ones, depending on your family, and then you just pull one out. Now, here's the thing. When you're doing your hamburger meat, and you can do this to ground chicken, ground turkey, so maybe you're not a beef eater. A beef eater. That's something different. But anyway, you can do all of that with the steamer method. If you do that, you can go ahead and put your spices in there. So if you eat a lot of, let's say, Mexican food, you can use a package of taco seasoning, right? And so when it's almost all steamed, put that package in there and give it a stir and let it steam some more until all those flavors are ooey gooey together. Now, when you bag it up and stick it in your freezer, you have tons that you can use for tacos, quesadillas, enchiladas, whatever you want. And it's already seasoned. All you have to do is defrost it. Or if you eat a ton of Italian food, you can put Italian blend herbs and spices in there. Parsley, oregano, basil, and then while that's cooking. And then you've got a whole bunch of that. Or you can do what I do, which is plain old hamburger meat. And that way I can use it for whatever I want, and I'll just add the spices as I go. Good morning, Jackie. Good to see you. So I took out the hamburger meat that was in the freezer, and so this is just plain old browned hamburger meat. No onions, no garlic, no seasoning, just plain old hamburger meat. Okay, so that was the stuff that came from the freezer. Let's just start to mix, shall we? And as we dump, you will roll your eyes at me, and that's okay. All right, we're gonna start with, because any good casserole does, a can of cream of chicken soup, right? I don't have cream of chicken soup, Cindy. I have cream of mushroom. Use cream of mushroom. I don't have that either. I have cream of celery. Use cream of celery. Use whatever little cream of soup you possess in your pantry, because I don't want you to go to the store. This is lazy day. It's slacker day. Use what you have, okay? Okay, that's in there. Gross. I have to show you my new, losing my thing. I have to show you my new, these are actually, what are these called? Like cup holders, right? Like you would put a cup on there so that but I use them as spoon rests. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? It's called Johanna's pattern. I love this. It's so pretty. And then my other one that I have out is the princess one. Isn't that pretty? The little princess, little blonde princess. Anyway, spoon rests. There you go. All right, so we have our cream of chicken soup in there. Now we're gonna need a cup of sour cream. A cup, you say. Hey, Crystal. How's work going, Chris? All right, a cup. You say, Cindy, where is your measuring cup? Don't know where it is. You use a cup and you measure. I'm going to I know what the cup is. So I'm gonna reach in here and put in a cup of sour cream. Oh, so good. A cup of sour cream. There we go. You can't have too much. All right, any kind of sour cream. This is just plain old sour cream. You like fat-free sour cream? You like low-fat sour cream? You can do that. Can you use Greek yogurt? No. I mean, maybe you could, but no. Could you use cream cheese? It might be okay, but it's a little thick, and you need the zing. Sour cream has a zing. Okay, so we're stirring it all up, and it kind of looks like, right now, like vanilla pudding and Cool Whip. But it does not taste like vanilla pudding and Cool Whip. Okay, now I put this in the bowl first because now I want to add my spices where it's easy to incorporate. Okay, that being said, we're going to use I'm using a can of diced tomatoes with green chili. Now, if you don't have, this is a store brand, if you don't have this or the regular brand, which is like Rotel, but you have a jar of picante sauce or salsa, you can use that too. Okay, so I'm using a jar and I didn't drain it. Oh, naughty, you didn't drain it? No. Why? We have condensed soup in here. When you cook with condensed soup, you're supposed to add more liquid to something. So there we go, a little liquid. Okay, so we got our liquid in here. Now, that looks kind of gross. Do you see I'm dumping? Really, I have dumped. Okay, now that's not very pretty, is it? Okay, spices, ready? I will measure some just to make you happy. Oh, that smells good. Okay, we're gonna do, where's my teaspoon? We're gonna do a teaspoon of salt. What kind of salt is that, Cindy? Well, this is kosher salt, but you don't have to use kosher salt. You can use regular iodized table salt. You can use pink Himalayan salt. You can use from the Andes or the Dead Sea salt. I don't care, any kind of salt is good. Then we're gonna use pepper. Now, I like a lot of pepper. You may probably only want a half a teaspoon. I'm gonna use a whole teaspoon of pepper, just because I like pepper, okay? Now for some Italian or some yummy. The first one we're gonna use is ground cumin. Ooh, this just smells like Mexican food to me. Ground cumin. Now, I'm going to go through all these spices. We're going to use a teaspoon of that. All these spices. And you are going to say to me, I bet, some of you, I don't have all those. I don't have all those spices. You said that you don't want me to go to the grocery store. Okay. If you don't have all these spices, ground coriander. Ground coriander. Do you know what ground coriander is? Coriander is the other name for cilantro. Does everybody know that? Did everybody know that coriander and cilantro are the same thing? They are. This is just dried. Hey, Jess. Voices. Okay, so here we go. 1 teaspoon ground coriander. You want to put fresh cilantro in here? Knock your socks off. I don't have any. All right. Smoked paprika. Yum. If you have smoked cumin, that's awesome too. I thought I did, but I couldn't find it. All right, so I'm putting a teaspoon of smoked paprika in there. Yum. It smells yummy too. Now, I'm just gonna zing this up just a tiny bit. Remember the other day when I told you I found this stuff called 6 chili powder? It just is yummy. Now, if you don't have 6 chili powder, which I doubt you do, you can use a teaspoon of chili powder. You can use a teaspoon of, you can put some chili flakes in there. This, again, just a zing. We don't want this to be boring. This is not your basic cream of chicken soup. Now, assume with me for a second, you say, I have none of those things. Do you have a package of taco seasoning in your pantry? I bet you do. I bet you do have a package of taco seasoning. And if you do, use that. Use the whole package. All right, teaspoon of garlic powder, not garlic salt. If you only have garlic salt, then use that, but don't put all that salt that I already put in there. Garlic powder. And then these are minced onions, because if you're making your hamburger meat from scratch, then you would probably dice up an onion and put some garlic in there. I just have plain old hamburger meat. Plain old hamburger meat. So that's why I'm using the garlic. And these are minced onions. I could have used, oh, that came off. Ooh, that came off. Okay, I could have used onion powder, but I'm using minced onion because that's what I pulled out of the cabinet. Okay, so you see I put all those spices in there. Did I use them all? Yes, I used them all. Now we're gonna give that a stir. The spices. Now you, like I said, you don't have all this stuff. Pick up, rummage through your pantry. I know there's one back there. And get out the package of taco seasoning. And just do that. If you think you need to amp it up a little bit, like I said, the can of Rotel, or if you don't have Rotel or, generic, whatever, use salsa or picante sauce. If your family doesn't like tomatoes, don't use tomatoes. Okay, I love tomatoes and have always loved tomatoes. I was talking to my mother on the phone yesterday, and so one of her friends has forwarded her about some study. Hey, Tina. I know I'm making you hungry. Some study that people with arthritis shouldn't eat tomatoes. Okay, really? I'm dying here. I'm like the crinkly old lady. But tomatoes? I don't know that I could give that up. All right, this is our liquidy mess. Liquidy mess, this is it. Ready? All right, before I add the other stuff, I gotta introduce you to somebody. Don't say that on my show. Okay, this is my friend Jessica. Say hi, Jessica.
Hi, guys.
Okay, Jessica is like the IT, internet, social media person, because all I can do is cook. That's all I do. I am worthless, I tell you, for social media. But Jessica knows everything, or she tries to learn it. And so she's the one that ensures that everything gets posted to YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And so today, tell them what you did today. We have to let's know what Jessica did today, because she's a silly girl.
On my favorite morning show,
Tell them what it is.
94.5 The Buzz, they have open phones Friday from 9 to 10. So 2 weeks in a row I have called and gotten through and told them about Cindy's Kitchen and the YouTube. And today they tweeted it out, and they have 190,000 tweets. Or no,
listeners, followers.
Followers, thank you. 190,000 followers, so Cindy's about to be famous.
Thank you, dear. I don't know that Cindy's about to be famous, but there you go. So, all right, so we have all of our liquidy stuff in here, right? Now we're just going to start dumping the stuff from the freezer. You ready? First, we're dumping our hamburger meat. If your hamburger meat is always already seasoned, cool. I know, Joanne, it is a huge bowl, but so the tall one, I was afraid you wouldn't be able to see in. And the other one, I was afraid it wasn't big enough. So, because I'm making, monster. This is 1.5 pounds of hamburger meat, because that's how I divided it up. I used to only do 1 pound of hamburger meat in all my bags, but I've started doing 1.5 pounds just because I'm feeding 2 doctors and then our family, right? So since I'm feeding the doctors, I gotta have more. Bag of frozen vegetables, any kind of veggies you like. Now, originally I would say a lot of people don't put veggies in this casserole if you've ever had it before, and that's fine, but come on, it's meat and potatoes. And if you're okay with just meat and potatoes, you go with that. You leave this step out. But really, we need something of nutritional value in here. So look at that. This one has peas, corn. Sorry, phone rang. I had it on Do Not Disturb, so I have no idea why it did that. Okay, so we put in our bag of mixed vegetables. See? We just dumped it in. Look at that. We have hamburger meat and vegetables. We have dumped it in. How hard was that? All right, all right, look at this. Country style potatoes. Now this is a big old bag, and it's the reason, 30 ounces. It is the reason that I got this big bowl. Because you can see the rest of the stuff, I could have used any bowl I had to mix this up. But I was afraid that this would take up a whole bowl, because it's a lot. But here's the hint. If you don't have a lot of hamburger meat, you stretch all your meals by adding more of the starch. So either potatoes or rice or pasta, and that makes your meat go a lot further. The bag of mixed vegetables, you can add 2 of them in there. And then my grocery store has this mixed vegetable bag for $1, 99 cents, I think. So now we've bought our hamburger meat in bulk. We got a 99-cent bag of veggies, and this was on sale, I think, for $1.99, so $2. And a few canned goods. So this, as prices go up, as meat shortages go, there you go. If you don't like this particular veggie mix, then, they have one that's just peas and carrots. You could use a can, right? You have a can of something, dump that sucker in there. You just want green beans, put in green beans. You just want peas, put in peas. This is Cindy's kitchen, but that's your kitchen. Okay, so we're dumping in, and like I said, it's gonna be a huge casserole. 30 ounces, big old bag of shredded potatoes. Now, you can they have diced potatoes, right? So either the store brand or Ore-Ida or whatever brands your store carries, they have the diced ones. You certainly could use those. It's a different casserole, it's a different mixture, but it's fine. A lot of recipes, if you've ever done this before, a lot of recipes that you will see tell you to do this totally different, but you see how lazy I am. They say to mix the meat mixture up and put that in the bottom. And then you do all the soupy stuff and the stuff with your potatoes and your cheese, and you put that on top. And then you put a layer of cheese on top, and it'll be ooey gooey. I'm not doing that because I'm lazy, okay? The last thing we're gonna put in, 8 ounces, so that's one of these smallish bags of shredded cheddar cheese. This is the Mexican blend, but of course, okay, I have a phone message, go away. Of course, you can put whatever cheese you have. Hey, Cindy, missed some of the show. Okay, well, this is slacker, lazy dump casserole. So, we're almost done. 8 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese. In we go. It was like a shower of shredded cheddar cheese. This is the really thin stuff. You can, if you have the big old block of cheddar, you can shred it up yourself. You can use the thick shreds. It's just what I had in the fridge. Again, I'm not going to the store. I'm just things out of the refrigerator, things out of the pantry, things out of the freezer. If you didn't have these, you could, I mean, if it's desperate times and you had a bag of tater tots, you could defrost the tater tots and get your potato masher out and give them a mash. Or you don't even have to do that. You could mix them in here. See, it really is. You don't have hamburger meat, you could put chicken in here. You could put turkey in here. You could put sausage in here. Really, it's the laziest. I just got to figure out what is in the pantry and what is in my refrigerator. Okay? So there we go. Look at that. It's colorful. Give me that. Give me that it's colorful. You love that color. All right, now we need a baking dish. Use a 9 by 13 if you so desire. That's probably what I would suggest because it's deeper. 9 by 13s are usually about 3 inches deep. I want this to cook faster because I have to leave for an appointment. So I'm using this big old. Hey, Cindy, running late today. Can't watch your show. Oh, well, watch the replay, Sandy. That's okay. This one is 15 by 10, but it's shallow. You see how shallow it is? It's like 2 inches instead of the big 3-inch one. Spray your pan with Pam or whatever cooking spray you have, unless it's Polish pottery, and then we don't spray. But, okay. This is a big old bowl. All right, there we go. And it runs down, yummy, but make sure you scrape. You don't want to lose any goodness. No goodness shall escape. Now you say there's not a lot of liquid in that. And you're right, there's not. But the sour cream and the cream of whatever soup you put in, the sour cream and the cream of whatever soup you use are going to liquefy in the heat. And so then that with the cheese that's going to melt everywhere and become ooey gooey is going to be fantastic. Now, again, if your family likes the layer of ooey gooey cheese on top, then do this. Add half of your package into the mix, okay? Add half of the package into your mix, save half of the package of cheese, and then once you've put it all into your casserole dish, then sprinkle the rest of the cheese on the top. My family does not like crust of cheese. So you got to do what your family will eat, right? So I'm trying to, there we go. Okay, ta-da. Look at that sucker. Yummy, yummy. And so even though this is like a 9 by 13, it's thicker. This will cook a little faster just because it's spread out. You want to cover this with foil. Let's go over why we cover things with foil again, or put a lid on it if you have one with a lid. If we cook things without a lid, what we're wanting is for the liquid to evaporate or things to brown on the top, right? So we don't want that right now. We want everything to melt and come together and be ooey gooey. So we're going to cover this with foil, oven 350 degrees. We're going to cook this. Everything's cooked, right? Everything we put in here, I mean, it's defrosted, but pretty much it's cooked. We're gonna put this in the oven for 20 minutes, just like it is. Now, I'm gonna put it in for 30 because I'm fine just the way it is. You folks with the sprinkly cheese on the top that like the layer of cheese, you put it in the oven, 350 degrees for 20 minutes, and then you take the foil off and you let the brown, you let your bubbly cheese get a little brownish color. Because I know a lot of people like it that way. I just don't. Hey, Sharon. And so then when you make a salad with this, that's good. Have a little bread. I have to tell you a secret. I know you guys are going to shake your head at me. I can't believe I bought this. Okay, let me say. When we got married, one of the things we got as a wedding present, now that's been 23 years ago. So when we got married, we got a bread machine. And I loved that bread machine. It was great. But then, I don't know, probably after about 7 years, I stopped making bread. I don't know why. I used to make like 2 or 3 loaves a week. And then I just stopped. And it got put in the back of the cabinet, and then I kind of forgot that it was there. And so about 6 years ago, I'm cleaning out cabinets. I'm like, oh, good Lord. I haven't used the bread maker in forever. So I gave it away. Because I'm like, somebody should be able to use it. Because it's not, and it worked perfectly fine. There wasn't anything wrong with it. I just never used it. All right, well, when pandemic started, I was getting a little nervous about food supply. And so I went ahead and I bought like a bunch of yeast and stuff because I could make bread from scratch if I need to. And you guys know I like that frozen stuff. But I really wanted a bread machine again. So I go online, nobody has them. They're all out of stock. Everybody. I even go on the manufacturer's websites because I'm like, well, maybe they're just not sending them to stores or to Amazon or to Walmart or to anybody. Nope, out of stock. everywhere. Unless I wanted to pay $500 for a bread machine, and I like bread, but not $500 worth. So I finally snagged one 2 weeks ago, back in stock. So I got one, and I made my first loaf of bread last night in the bread machine. When we had ours, they had, it was a big thing back then, and the grocery store had like this huge section of mixes where you just grab the box. And it had everything in it. You just, a little water or something, and poof, you had bread. This one you have to do all from scratch. So we made bread. It tastes good, but it was a little dense for me. Like, it's solid. So I think it's because I used all-purpose flour. I think I'm going to try to get some bread flour and see what that happens. But the reason I'm telling you about this machine, the coolest thing about this machine is it has this little tray. And so if you want to make bread that has like fruit or nuts in it, it has this little tray, and you fill the tray with the fruit or the nuts or whatever. And then, so it kneads the dough and does all this. And then when it's the right time for fruit and nuts, then poof, there's this like trap door. It's like being on stage. The trap door opens and the fruits and the nuts go into, and then and then mixes it all up. How cool is that? It also makes jam. How can a bread maker make jam? I don't know the answer to that. So, was on a call. I know, Michelle, we're almost done. We're almost done. So, today we made lazy, slacker, lazy, clean out your freezer casserole. And so, we did 3 bags out of the freezer. Or if you need to make hamburger meat, you need to go back and watch the episode Hamburger Magic. Okay? So I used 1.5 pounds, but you use a pound, you use 2 pounds, depending on how much you have and how big a family you have. So I used 1.5 pounds of hamburger, cooked hamburger meat. Then I used a bag of hashed brown potatoes, country style hashed brown potatoes. Then I used a bag of frozen mixed vegetables. Okay, our liquidy kind of stuff was a can of cream of chicken, a cup of sour cream, a can of diced tomatoes with chilies, or if you didn't have that, you could use salsa, or you don't have to use that. And then a bunch of spices. I'll write it all down so that you can read them, but a bunch of spices. You can use the spices you have in your cabinet, or if you're not comfortable guessing and you don't have a whole lot, just buy a bag, the little package of taco seasoning, and you are good to go, girl. And so, and then we just mixed all that up. We mixed it all up, put in 8 ounces of shredded cheese. Now, I mixed it all together and put it in a baking dish. You would use a 9x13. But you can put half your cheese in, save the other half, and sprinkle it on the top. If you do that, cover it with foil, 350 degrees in the oven, 20 minutes covered with foil. Then the last 10 minutes, take the foil or the lid off and let the cheese get brown and bubbly. If you're like me, you can take it off so that the top will brown, or you can leave it on the whole time. Wholly up to you. Because why? This is Cindy's kitchen, not your kitchen. In your kitchen, you get to do whatever you want. All right. Good morning, Danielle. So I'm really excited that I was lazy today. I started out and I was like, it's going to be a slow show. I'm going to talk slow. Because I'm in a lazy kind of mood. And then I saw you guys and you got me all energetic. So now I feel like I should make something else. But I'm not gonna. Anyway, so I'm so excited to see all you. I'm very happy. Add some Vital Wheat gluten to the bread machine mix. Bread flour helps too. Oh, I've never heard of that. Vital Wheat gluten. I've never heard of that. Okay, I'll have to look. I have to look at that. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. Hey, Beth. So you guys make my day. It's like I have a little family on here, and you really do help. I think today, one of the reasons I was really lazy today is because today is day 80 without Philip. And so that's hard. And I know he's in the ICU today. And I know that the ICU is full and they have patients up on another floor. So, it's going to happen. And we all knew it was going to happen, right? When you start to reopen things, the number of cases goes up. And so we knew it would happen. It's not a big surprise, but it just means it's longer that he's gone, that he's not at home. And so I think that's why I was kind of sad, that the number days, and thank you, Linda. And so I just want to tell you guys, thank you again. It has been difficult on my psyche. You know, I don't want to get depressed. And so having to come up with things that I think you might enjoy, that you might have in your pantry that are yummy and tasty. And then the conversations that we have back and forth. When you say hi, when you show up a lot, you know, and I feel like we really are family and that we've become friends. And so thank you so much for helping me through the last 80 days. We're not stopping. Tomorrow at 11, tomorrow's Saturday, tomorrow at 11 is going to be a fun show. We're going to be pickling things. And so this might be another produce show. What from the produce aisle can we pickle? Can we pickle it all? So tomorrow is pickling. You guys have an awesome day. Oh, Leslie, I see that you're here. I'm so sorry. We're just about to end. You'll have to watch the rerun. Don't forget to go on YouTube. Look for Cindy's Kitchen. Please subscribe, hit the notifications, and then every time we upload a video with the recipe, you'll see it. YouTube is the easiest way to find the recipes, only because if you've already watched the video, all you have to do is hit the down arrow and the recipe's right there. If you're looking for the recipe on Facebook, sometimes you gotta scroll, and then, you know, you don't know. You can use your fermenting jar. Yeah, except I'm not doing a fermenting, I'm doing a basic, like on the stove pickling, Donna. But you could, sure. Anyway, thank him for all he does, and you make our day better too. Thank you so much, Heather. I really do appreciate it. You guys have an awesome, awesome day. From my kitchen, who's? Cindy's. From my kitchen to your kitchen. Have a lovely day. And if you're feeling like a slacker and lazy and not want to do something, clean out your freezer and your pantry and make a yummy casserole for your family. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Have a great day.